Let's not start with Phew. Raw and vulnerable. Raw and vulnerable. Okay. All right. Let's start the journey. Hi. Just a lot of my followers already know who I am, but I think it's really important to reintroduce myself to my followers and to the new followers as well. So I hate the term, but I'm a health coach, and basically in a professional manner, I support people to alleviate suffering with their burnout, pain, chronic stress, anxiety, depression, mental health, through living different, through changing our lifestyles. Now, again, let's just put that in reality. What I really can't fucking stand about this industry, to be honest, and what has almost caused me to just leave many times over, is how we've used it as a quick way of becoming rich, of being seen, of being better, and really taking I don't even know how to really pronounce it or say it. Really just doing shit work at a fast pace, to try to be ahead of a new trend, or to make sure that we're seen first, or that we want to be on a trend, and if we're not, if we go against the grain, then we'll lose followers. It's really a not a fun culture to be involved in, and very egotistical, it would be probably the word to really kind of land it. But I'm only annoyed because I kind of got trapped in it, in a way. Like, I definitely got sold the lustful lie of helping more people and being better, and if I'm not, I'm doing a horrible job. Wow. It's just saying that just takes a lot of relief off. And basically, I was very healthy going into this, and I became very unhealthy almost coming out of it, because I just put so much pressure on myself trying to help so many people. And I think many people come into this industry with a lot of good intentions, but helping others without helping yourself is extremely easy. But that's where the burnout is. That's where the chronic stress comes. That's where the anxiety and depression and this pressure and doubt and fear all comes in, because then you're like trying to keep it up, or trying to put on appearances that you're good. And I've been through a couple of these stages, and it's really just an awful way of living. This pressure society puts on you, and that you choose to put on yourself because you think it's going to make you a better person. It's not the case. It's just a lot of criticism and judgment. And here is the issue with coming from a culture, I think, in itself, that's put so much pressure on us. Now, what is that pressure? It's a pressure of performance. It's a pressure of keeping up with the Joneses and having status and being involved in the new best thing. And if you're not, then you're not intellectual enough to be involved in their conversations anymore. And if you're not growing with the times, you can be politically incorrect or a bigot or whatever it may be. There's just so many things to keep up with. And when you try to follow and keep up with the mass crowd and society, you end up losing yourself, losing a sense of self, losing connection with who you truly are. And that's why we admire the people who take the path less traveled, the path that seems scary or unadvisable, or a very unwise path to take. And And this is why we celebrate the underdog. We love seeing the poor become rich, the sick become healed. And so we should. But the reason we love it is because deep down, that's what we want for ourselves. Deep down, our soul is craving for us to have the same victories in our life. And the only way to do that is to be truly connected with self. Truly to spend time with ourselves, to create our own thought processes, to create our own thoughts, our own ideas, our own understanding of our world. Our world. Like, yeah, we all share the earth, but we don't share, like, our worlds. We try to. I think that's where a lot of people pleasing comes in, because we think, well, I don't know what my world is, but that world looks pretty good over there. I'll just go follow it. And that's called leadership. Leaders are the ones that create worlds. Our words is what creates worlds. We have a creative ability, and I think we just forget that power a lot because we're following a lot and we're distracted all the fucking time. And it's annoying, and like, I'm guilty of it too. This is why healing is so hard in our day and age. Like, deep down, we know what to do. Deep down, it's pretty fucking simple to heal, but it's not easy. And what I mean by that is, we know to be healthy, you got to go to bed and have 8 hours of quality sleep. I don't know how many fucking more studies we need to read to say that that's a good thing. We also know that eating a predominantly whole food, plant-based diet, not saying vegetarian, not saying vegan, I'm not adhering to a particular dogma of a diet, but we know that a diversity in diet, and the Mediterranean diet is voted the number one longevity diet. So if anything, longevity should be kind of the thing we should be weighing it against, because we want to live a long and prosperous life. So we deep down, in general, like 90% of the time of a diet, we all know what's good for us. When obviously there's individual symptoms and diseases, we can kind of, the next 10% we can change to a more of a individualized diet. But come on, like, we know what it means to eat well. We know what it means to sleep well. We know what it means that our body needs adequate hydration and good water sources. Like, we know that. We know that the body needs sunshine. We know that the body needs to be grounded, and it's better. And a lot of symptoms and inflammation drops while we're grounding on the earth. We know that. We know that we're built for connection. We're social creatures. That's why we have the nervous system that's got the parasympathetic, the sympathetic, the dorsal, and the social nerve, the branches within the nervous system, the vagus nerve. We know this, right? We know that we're emotional beings and our emotions can be measured. We know that many things can affect us, can poison us, but we also know that the basics of how to heal. But why don't we do the basics? Sleep, breathe properly, drink good water, movement, good, predominantly whole food diet, and a lot of diversity in that, sunshine, connection, passion. Why don't we make this such a priority in our culture? Like, why aren't we doing this in schools? Why aren't we teaching this, figuring out a way to make this just the norm? Instead of fighting a battle of so much resistance, so much reaction, why can't we get ahead of this? And the only way we're going to get ahead of this, truly, in my opinion, for us, it's too late. Like, some people will get through because they have enough willpower and desire and a vision and a passion and pleasure to chase, and it's a pain to start it. But most won't. Most won't, because it's too painful. And our society knows how to alleviate pain in the moment, and that's through distraction, entertainment, social media, constant dopamine hits. Let's put you on the next hit, the next hit, the next season, the next fragrance, the next clothing line, the next car model, the next thing, because the body needs stimulation, and the only way it's going to stimulate is give it something new all the time. And if we can keep you on the rat wheel doing that, then you'll never want to get off. Even though it might be painful and exhausting, you're never wanting to get off, because it gives you something. It gives you something, a purpose to be. If you didn't have any of those things, what happens then? And that's scary. And a lot of healing requires you to get off the wheel and just stop and pause and rest and breathe and be. And when you do that, it fucking hurts. Because all your shit comes up. It's like withdrawing from a drug. Truly. Why does no one talk about that? That's why I'm here right now, just completely honest with you about the journey. So important. Because when we know what we're going into, we can be held, and we can also understand that this is a part of the process. That then when it happens, we don't have to be judgmental or critical, because like, oh yeah, but like look at that health person and they just seem healthy and happy all the time. Well, maybe they didn't share that part of the journey you're going through. And when we can just be more that this is a part of the step of recovery, of becoming healthy, then I think more and more people would be like, okay, I'm able to do that if the support is there.